Now, here's something that I think we need to talk about is Arthur Smith opening up this offense. Is he going to open up the offense? Or are we just going to continuously be this conservative offense that can't do anything? Now, the first thing that we think about when you say, okay, opening up the offense, that doesn't mean that you have to throw the ball, 25, 30 yards down the field every play. That is not what I'm talking about when I say open up the offense. What I mean is do some stuff like we used to hate jet sweeps when Matt Canada ran them. Well, the reason that we hated them is because it seemed like the Steelers ran like 8 of them a game. Anytime they tried to run outside, that's what they were doing. Well, mix in 1 or 2. You don't have to run 8, but run one every now and then. Throw a wide receiver screen to Calvin Austin. Do something. Have a little bit more imagination when it comes to, running the football. Do some different things. You got to be able to do some different things. Now, I will say this. When it comes to throwing the football, wide receivers got to help. You got to start getting open. You've got to start getting open. You can't just, the separation that we get, which is none, you can't throw things down the field if guys aren't just going to get open. I think you got to play more Scotty Miller because Scotty Miller will get open. I know he's not the best receiver, but damn it, at least he'll get open. I think you got to start using Calvin Austin more. Again, not the best receiver, but from time to time, he gets open. If George Pickens isn't going to give it to you the way that we need it, you got to find other ways. You got to find ways to get Pat Freiermuth the football. I'm sorry. 4 and 5 catches, he's better than that. He's better than that. There's no reason that you can't scheme this guy that we just gave a ton of money to be a receiver, by the way. He's our second option. He needs to have at least 8 to 10 targets a game. 8 to 10. And if you get it in his vicinity, he'll catch it. So that should get you anywhere between 6 to 8 catches a game. Got to find a way to get Freiermuth more involved. Got to find a way. So that's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's go here. So, Hail Holly Queen. Hold GP and BJ, pause, talking about Broderick Jones, accountable. Broderick Jones, again, we're going to say pause, with patience and coaching, GP with a boot in the ass. Tomlin is patient in a case with the yips, as shown with Deontay Johnson and Chris Boswell. I mean, you're right. Tomlin did do that. He did. He was patient with them. Deontay Johnson, it seemed like he couldn't catch a pass, and he was patient with them. Chris Boswell was good. He had an entire season with the yips, an entire season. Now, isn't Chris Boswell one of the top? If he's not the top kicker in the league, he ain't third. I can tell you that. He ain't third. So, there's that. That's all I'm saying. Broderick got to come on. We can't do that. Broderick got to come on. But this offense got to open up. Now, the offensive line's got to help too, man. The offensive line's got to do more. The one thing that I did see, Mason McCormick, his technique is still bad. He got better, though. This past game, he was better. Technique all over the place. Technique, terrible. But he got better. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, man. He was better. So, that part I know. And we know Zach Frazier's good. And you know who we haven't even talked about this year? That nobody's even brought up his name? Is Dan Moore Jr. Ain't that something? Now, look, Steelers Almighty, we have got a saying that we've said this all along, is that when guys are up for new contracts, you usually get the best out of them. And then the year after they get a contract, they usually go in the toilet. Well, wouldn't you know, our man Dan Moore Jr., who has been the worst tackle in football the last 2 seasons, is having a great season this year. Imagine that. Just imagine that. And he is. You're lying if you're saying Dan Moore Jr. ain't been playing good. Yeah, he has. Yes, he has. It's crazy. So it's crazy. But he's been playing good. You can't you can't say that, well, put Broderick at left tackle. Why would you do that? Dan Moore Jr. is playing good. Why would you replace that guy? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So, look, man, in closing this thing down, look, I want to say this. Broderick and Pickens, they're two young guys that, well, before I close this thing down, excuse me, we got a super chat here, and we want to bring this super chat up. I told you all, if you did, I would put you right up here. Kel Turner, number one, thank you. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on and supporting the channel. Here's a good statement here. If I'm GP, I'm mad too. How will I ever get paid with an offense that clearly doesn't know how to scheme a pass in a passing league? Well, first of all, if he stays with the Steelers, he's going to get paid. That's number one. Okay. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. But number two, he can be as mad as he wants. And I don't even blame him for not being mad for our offense that the scheme of the offense is terrible. But you know how you won't get paid? By running your routes at 70%. That I don't care what you do. You're not going to get paid because the Steelers aren't the only team that's watching that. Every other team in the league is watching you run routes at 70%. So you can be mad. I get it. Don't even blame them for being mad. But if you're going to talk and equate that to money, well, the first thing that somebody's going to say is, well, you're running at 70% here. Why should we pay you to run a route at 70%? Why would we do that? You want how much money? No, we're not going to give you that because you don't give the effort. We need guys, if we're going to pay you that kind of money, and let's just throw out a number, $25 million a year, yeah, we got to have better effort than this. This is $10 million a year effort, not 25. So you tell us. You tell us. So I don't agree, or I don't disagree with you, Mr. Turner. I don't agree. I should say, I don't disagree with you as far as Pickens being mad. I could be mad too. But if you don't put the effort in, you're not going to be a professional. What difference does it make? Nobody's paying you. You could have been Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Terrell Owens combined. That's what your ability could be. If you give 70% effort, you're not getting paid like you want to get paid. I'm sorry. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. So, but I agree with you. The scheme is terrible. The scheme is terrible. So, uh, he's not George Pickens is 100% right when it comes to that. So, but how he's going about handling it, it's unacceptable. That's where the part is that's unacceptable. Is how he's choosing to handle this thing. So if y'all still got questions, man, I'll stay on. I don't have to shut this down. I was shutting it down because y'all hadn't sent any more questions. You want to send some more questions in, I'll be more than happy to answer them, man. Y'all know me. I love talking to y'all. I love having a good time. What do we got right here? Big B, you make me laugh talking about Broderick Jones. I called it on live post game. Broderick Jones didn't block the corner on that one play, man. Didn't even whiff on the all 22. Jesus. You 100% did, Leonard. And like I said, Broderick Jones didn't get close enough to that corner to be able to tell you if he farted or not. Like the man could have farted, and he wasn't even close enough to be able to tell you if it stunk. That's how bad he was on that play. It's unbelievable. That is literally a lineman's dream. I'm on a toss, and it's me and a cornerback. The cornerback's trying to get through me to go make a tackle. That is your dream. I'm going to get my hands on you, and once I do, you're eventually going to fall down, and I'm going to drive you into the ground as hard as I possibly can. That's what's going to happen. If the corner bounces outside, let him go outside because my running back's just going to read me. Eventually, if he wants to make the play, he's going to come back to me and I'm going to bury him. Didn't even touch him. Couldn't even tell you if the man farted, which is crazy. So, which is crazy. Mm-mm-mm. What do we got here? Why not Max Sharping instead of Jones? Probably will get better effort. I mean, the problem is the dip in talent. That's the problem. But here's the thing, my man Byron Nelson, it may get to that. It may get to that. You are going to get better effort. It's just the ability drop is going to be so bad. But I, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody put in the comments of the All 22, they were saying, what about David Bakhtiari? And I'm like, Bakhtiari's had injury issues, but if he can play and can play right tackle, maybe that's an option. My only thing, he's been hurt, like really hurt the last 3 years. So who knows? Who knows? Here's another one. Big B, can we play Myers if Brandon Jones isn't following coaching? No independent hands. Nope. No first contact. Nope. Myers teaches aggression, not confusion, and taking wrong first steps. Taking wrong, I mean, let's go through this. He takes the wrong first steps. You're exactly right. He brings absolutely no punch. You're exactly right. He catches everything. And once in the initial contact, he gets it. And then he just tries to push you out of the way. Like NFL guys are just going to be pushed out of the way with no leg drive, no nothing. Just here, get out of the way. Okay. He does nothing. Hand placement is bad. Somebody mentioned that, he's in a 2-point stance too much. I agree. Um, but yeah, I blame Myers. To answer your initial question, yes, I think Myers is a terrible offensive line coach. I don't think he's bad. I think he's terrible. I think he's terrible. I think the guys that have been good on the offensive line had nothing to do with him. I think he's just been terrible. So I don't know.